What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back to the Miata content. For the last few videos you have seen the crazy carts, which I hope you guys are enjoying, because we are. Today we're not doing anything super special, but we are doing something that is definitely needed on this car for a minute and my red car. Red car doesn't need them too bad, so we're not doing them yet, but this car absolutely 100% needs them, like bad. So we're just gonna be doing brakes. We got all the pads, rotors right here. Some of the new brackets and stuff are in the boxes, stuff like that. New boots for lines. So as you guys can see, we already got the black car, the daily, up on jack stands, because I'm sure you guys know how to fucking put a car on jack stands. Like, not like it really matters, but we're gonna drop the wheels down. It's actually a pretty simple install if you know what you're doing, or like even if you don't. It really isn't that hard. It's really only a couple bolts on each side, or on each corner, I mean, and just sliding and a couple pads. So we're gonna get these wheels off, and I'll explain to you what we have to do as soon as they are. Hey, so we got the wheels off. I think it'll probably be easier just to show you on this side, but my son's gonna block it, so it won't matter. So all we're doing is we're actually taking the whole caliper off this time. If you were just doing pads, you don't really need to do it. You can undo these bolts back here, right here, and just pull this housing off, and then just slip the new pads into that, or slip the new pads into there. But since we are doing rotors and pads, we're just gonna go ahead and take the entire caliper off and the rotor off. Dude, this is, I didn't even like notice this. This is lipped like crazy. You see all those rivets? Like, this thing is getting scarred hella bad. So yeah, that's why we're replacing them. So there's two bolts, one right there, and then one underneath it that you can see. Those are the ones that we're gonna need to get off to pull the caliper off. I'm pretty sure it's just like that all the way around. And like I said, this is like a pretty simple job. So we're gonna try to see if we can pop those off and then just slip the new rotor right back on. Some of these cars, if they've never got brakes, or if they have had brakes on and people put these screws back, these screws are a pain in the ass sometimes. I've had multiple strip on me, multiple break. I use an impact driver or just like something and drilled it out, because these like to strip since they get super rusty. I don't ever put them back in because you don't really need them, so whatever. The wheel holds it on. All right, so let's pop off this caliper. Okay, so both of the bolts are about to come out. As you can see, that one is coming out, and the one on the bottom. I always grab something. People use zip ties, bungee cords, other stuff like that. I always just grab something to rest the caliper on, so you're not stretching out the brake line, so you don't by chance cause any like kinks, breaks, cracks, and you leak all your fluid out, and then something worse could happen. So I just always grab something that's tall enough to just rest it right on top of as soon as I pull it out. I guess this will be a decent time to show you what I got going for this car and the other car. So here's our here's our pads right here. These are not too important, they look like everything else. But here are our rotors. So I know that this is necessarily not like a needed thing or anything like that, but they are drilled and slotted. I know they're also, it's not like necessary for a car that's not gonna be, that doesn't make like that much power, doesn't weigh that much or anything like that. But I wanted something that looked good for my red car, and I decided, since I was gonna order one set of brakes and I need two, might as well just order the same thing. But they will look good nonetheless. They will stop good. Hopefully they last long enough, because this thing will be a drift car, and I'm sure we will need those. But I'm sure like it won't be like, these won't be forever, clearly. I'll probably get something better next time, or whatever needs to happen. So yeah, just those. It came with some bracket and stuff, doesn't really matter. But we're gonna pull this thing off, set it on there, and then I guess just get those on. It's pretty simple. Okay. Fucking hella stuck on there. Okay, so we actually had to drop this part off, as you can see. separate from this just because these pads are so stuck, I guess, like onto the lip or whatever. Doesn't matter. These came right off. You get access to the hub. As you can probably see, it's lipped on, or you probably can't see, but it's lipped pretty bad on literally both sides. Super, it just seems hella old, hella rusty, so let's just set that out of the way. Oh, trying to grab this. That already looks so much better. Okay, so we're gonna throw the bracket back on. We're gonna throw the new clips inside of the bracket first. These little metal ones, as you guys can see. One popped out, it's on the ground, doesn't matter. The new brakes came with all of these for all the pads, so we're gonna use them. Yeah, we'll be right back when we got all those in. Okay, so we got the caliper compressed. We were trying to figure out ways that we could do that, so we'll show you on the next one. But we just used a piece of metal that I had from my skid plate that I used and a big ass C-clamp to compress the caliper and work perfect. So now, since we placed the rotor on, luckily these ones are actually labeled since they are directional. It says front driver's side, helps out a lot. We got the new brackets to hold the brake pads into the caliper bracket. So we're actually gonna throw these on the back so we can put that on last, so we can slip the brake pads right into this. This is pretty simple to put back on. It's only 2 bolts on the back that you already saw me take off. So we're gonna throw this back on real fast and we'll get right back to you. Okay, so as you can see, we got the brake bracket back on. We got new boots back here. New brake pads are in. We just gotta slide that piece right back on. I already tightened down the bracket. Just gotta tighten that caliper onto these, whatever the hell these things are, they're weird. But yeah, should be pretty simple. As soon as we do that, we're gonna move to the back and then repeat on the other side. That one's all back on, brake pads are back in, caliper is back on the bracket. We are moving on to the back right now. I just wanna show you guys some things real quick that I kind of thought was funny. So the guy I bought this off the car did this before me, and a few things that you can notice right off the bat. One, they look kind of small. That's because they are small. The NB2s, or I think I'm not sure if the 2002 does come with it or not, but the 2003 and up for sure I know. I think the 2002 does come with it. Have bigger brakes. So if you have an NB2, please make sure you get the option for the bigger brakes, or these are gonna come small every single time. So be careful about that. And I'm pretty sure these are on backwards. These are directional, I'm pretty positive. And as you can see, they're going that way. And on this side, it actually is labeled on these, rear driver's side. You can see, oh, sorry about that. You can see that the slashes should be going that way, like that. Just be careful. I'm sure it doesn't really fuck with it too much. You can definitely see that I'm using like 75, if even 75% of my whole rotor, just because of the fact that these are small and he didn't fix them. So yeah, it's pretty fucked. Be careful. Make sure you know what you're buying. The caliper off and the brake pads out. I just want to show you this real quick. So what I was talking about before, how they were wearing unevenly. Yeah. Look at that. That's crazy. Please, please, please buy the right fucking shit. Don't be a dumbass. Do your research. Oh, yeah. And since these are out, we can really show you the size difference. So we line up all the holes as best as possible. Yeah, you can see that there's literally an obvious circumference difference. It's not like perfectly in the middle, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly, but it's definitely bigger. As you can see, it's all the way around. Please buy the right stuff. Please. Okay, so as you can see, we got everything off like I just said. We're gonna throw the rotor on, the new brackets into the new little metal, whatever the hell they're called, to hold the pad into the bracket, and then throw the pads back in, and then we'll effectively be done with this video. We're just gonna jump to the other side and do it. Doesn't really matter, you guys don't need to see that. But yeah, we'll just do that real quick. Oh yeah, one thing. When pulling this off, there's not a bolt on this side. There's a little cap, like this. Just pop it off and there's a 10 mil underneath it. this weird ass thing. Just unscrew it. And then this will slide up. But I had to take this off anyway, so there you go. Compressing the piston at the moment. What you're gonna have to do is pop off this little tiny bolt with a crush washer on it that is right behind here next to this one. It'll almost be like flush in there. And then there's an Allen key, which I think is a 4mm. Yeah, 4mm Allen key that will fit right into there. And there's a screw, and you're just gonna unscrew it, and it's gonna compress the piston really slowly, but don't use a C-clamp or anything else on that, because I heard like well, just don't use it. You don't need it. So yeah. Okay, so we got everything back on in the rear. I kind of showed you how to put the pads in the front, I think. Or if you don't know, they kind of just line up how they look. Got the wheel on and everything. Everything's looking good. We're going to start on the other side now. We're not going to show you that just because we already showed you this side, so there's not a point. But yeah. You usually have to I think it's called shit, I don't really know, to be honest. Bedding, I think it is. Bedding the brake pads with the new rotors. I think you just have to go from 20 mile an hour, just hit the brakes really hard a few times, and 40 or something, shit like that. I'll look it up, get more info on that. But yeah, so we're gonna do that after we get the other two on, and then we should be good to go. Should be able to stop way easier now. I actually have full brakes in the rear, even though you use most of your brakes up front, but you know, whatever. It's just gonna help. So yeah. Okay, while editing this video, I realized I didn't make an outro or really finish the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I've been actually riding on the brakes for probably about a week now, or a little under a week, probably around 5 or 6 days. And they're great. They work perfectly. They stop great. No weird squeaking or anything like that out of them. Compared to my old brakes, it's 100 times better from all the wear and the unevenness of how they were wearing beforehand. But yeah, so on the daily they work great. Still haven't done them on the NB. I don't really need to yet, and plus it's about to be winter, so I'm not even going to be able to drive it, or I'm not going to want to drive it here soon anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about that until next season. But yeah, like I said before, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.